Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another action-packed week of Sunday Night Skippy Racing. Tonight, the drivers of Skippy Formula 2 and Skippy Formula 1 will go to absolute battle here at the RedBull Ring in Austria. Joining me tonight, as always, running the cameras and the show, Pim Luth. How are you doing tonight, Pim?
I'm doing fine, man. I had a hard time sleeping last night. I am really excited about this track.
Yes, me too. I feel like I say this a lot, but it seems like in the Discord, maybe the not the complaints, but the criticisms of tracks rises to the top, and that's what I noticed. But I really like this track. I know there's a lot of drivers who aren't necessarily looking forward to it because there's a lot of opportunities for, I'll just call it wrecks, but I think it leads to some great racing and some good action for the viewers at least.
Yeah, no, I exactly the same thing. I still remember that first race that we had over here 2-3 seasons ago, which was had so much excitement. And from that moment on, I just love this skip on the RedBull Ring. And we're going to see two exciting races. We have that Formula 2 race, which, you know, I've seen the drivers. I was here very early in the training, and I've seen some people do some crazy times. So basically, Formula 1 and Formula 2 have similar times in the mid-pack at least. I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is going to be nice, close, tight racing, a lot of draft involvement, but like we said, some braking zones for passing opportunities. So it's got it all. It's got it all, including for Skippy Formula 2, some pit strategy. 2 pit stops for tonight. We've got a 35-minute race around this 2.68 mile track. Like I said, we've got 30% fuel limit, which is going to drive the 2 pit stops, which in and of themselves create some strategy and just an opportunity to either gain or lose time. The weather's great for the race tonight. Track temps at 70 degrees Fahrenheit and just a really nice clear day, as you can see. So that'll be a lot of fun. And I think that's it, man. We've got qualifying going on, just a few minutes left of that. And right now, Nicholas Mazza holds the top spot.
Chris, your sound is a bit off. I think your connection is a bit off. Maybe turn off some items.
We will work on that. It's only a matter of time before it bit me.
Yeah, no, well, I do have to say, maybe it's good to talk a little bit about what we see here in the booth. People always want to know how we describe this race. Well, Chris, you're really in a booth on the moment. You're always working, not at home, but being on the road and still being here in the booth with me, at least virtual, is always very great. But about this track, I drove it Friday. I saw a lot of fast people driving around, but also it's a possibility to hang on. So I'm gonna see like where you're gonna pick your fight. It's gonna be an amazing one. Yeah, go ahead.
Does that sound any better there?
You
looks
drop
like I got
sometimes, you drop sometimes, you don't drop sometimes. It's fine by me. I can understand you. So we'll make it.
That's all I care
work.
about.
Exactly.
But yeah, to your point, you know, talk about picking your spots. I mean, there's going to be, with the draft especially, it's going to feel like you're just so much faster than the driver in front of you, when in actuality, you probably have similar pace, or, you know, you might even be just a little bit slower. So picking the right opportunities to pass, and we may see some cars maybe working together to close gaps. Like I said, this track is going to have it all.
No, it's definitely going to have a lot of things, but it is all depending on the drivers. Are they going to immediately fight with each other? Are there going to be big crashes? I've seen some pub races go horribly wrong here. I have myself not really very good experiences in the GT3 series. So it has it all. I'm very curious. I'm also very curious about Formula 1. But first, this Formula 2 with 2 pit stops. Let's go a little bit over the standings before we actually continue. Have a quick look. We see RJ McKenzie is still in the lead, 139 points, but he's off. He's had his certificate. We'll see him in the Formula 1. So then we basically have Rusty Pontenberg, Nicholas Matza and Peter Lee on that podium, but also Jake Ashe. I'm not 100% sure how it works with drop races and all those kind of things. But I know that Jake has practiced very much on this track. I expect a lot from him. If you look at these people that are driving right now, who is your favorite, Chris? Who is your pick?
Ooh, that's tough. Well, we know Jake just earlier today was able to grab the win, I believe, right? In the top split of Skippy. So I think today might be Jake Ashe's day here for a Skippy Formula 2 win.
Yeah, that's a good one to call out. Also the safe one. It's the same as Rusty Pontenberg, always good in Formula 2. We had him this morning in the BRL race. I think he was 11th. Wasn't that successful. I know that actually he has also started to stream. For people who are on Twitch and want to follow the view of Rusty Pontenberg, you can find him on That Bots Racing. Hey, I remember that one. I wanted to see. It's very fun to see all those personal views. Although, of course, here at CAV-OK, you see the complete view overview, what's really happening and what's important. And on the moment, that's Nicholas Mazza driving a 1:49.22. I think that is a pretty fast time. But can he still improve on this?
Yeah, we got the checkered flag technically is out, but like open qualifying goes, if you're out on a lap, you can finish it. So we'll see if anybody can gain a spot or two.
Yeah, on the moment I saw Ian Worrell did his last time an 8th time, 1:50.05, so pretty fast. And I do see Bryce Tolman, a new name. Let's go over the new names. I see Bryce Tolman. I remember the Tolman part. I don't remember the Bryce part.
Yeah, it seems we have a relative, I believe we were talking about earlier, brother of Connor Tolman. Who has won races in Skippy Formula 1, really great driver. Went focused on go-karting a little bit, but is actually kind of back and active again in the community, so we're happy to see him, happy to see his brother as well in Skippy Formula 2, hopefully make this family affair.
Yeah, no, great to see. I hope that they both do well in both their races. We only see Melody Chance driving back. I do see in the back also, let's have a quick look, some names. Michael Pop. I think that's a relatively new name, or at least I haven't seen that one yet. Can you remember that one?
I believe that might be Joe Zubo's, I don't know, I remember.
Yeah. No, that's a funny one that you say that. Oh,
yeah.
Well, let's have a look at the car, because I do see a resemblance from Joe Zubo. But before we do that, and I do see that we have the wrong title, but it is really the Sunday Night Skippy and not the Alpha Tower Touring Challenge. But we do see that Nicholas Mazza has taken the first position. With a 1:49.22, that has sustained as the quickest time. Then we see Jake Ashe, he's looking for a team, so maybe we should talk about that a little bit. But currently 0.0 seconds away from that, so basically the same time. Chaz Webber, good to see him in this league, on the 3rd position. And then we see, of course, Carter Stickney. Carter Stickney, always the same straighting paint. Really great livery. I know that one by heart. Sometimes it hunts me in my nightmares, but is there on the 4th position. And then we see Chris Girondellis, 5th position. Joe Zubo, the Wild Drivers. And remember that name when I say that, the Wild Drivers from Joe Zubo. Also responsible for all administrational stuff in the Formula 2 race. Kurt Smith, Ian Worrell, Melody Chance, Rusty Pontenberg, Justin Diven, 11th position, moved a little bit up from last races, so probably practiced a lot up here. And then we see Zach Snyder, Tyler Antle, Peter Lee, Bryce Tolman here back on that 15th position. Curious what he's going to do in this first race of the Formula 2. Craig Montgomery on the 16th position, Richard Reboya, 17th, and then a new name, Adrian Fedorowski. Beautiful name from Canada, is joined us up here, so curious to see what they can do. Greg Sharp, David Michael Serro on the 20th position, Michael Pop, David Lopresti. And you should look at his paint. I think he's a little dirty, Dirty Dave, he calls himself. So let's see what his nickname is going to do. And then all the way in the end, Nate Strules. I'm a little bit surprised by Nate Strules over there. I don't think he qualified very well. See what he can do in the race. That's the whole grid, Chris. That's a big grid again.
Yeah, heck of a rundown. That's a lot of drivers. 23 drivers will be taking the grid here for this race, which is great turnout for Skippy Formula 2. And once again, starting to rival the Skippy Formula 1 guys.
Oh, no, definitely. And I do have to say that 2 pit stops, that has been fully taken over by Formula 2 or Formula 1 or not. We always have that right now. And I do see that the lights are going on. Or are the lights? No, the lights are not going on. We're still waiting for some people to grid. But we are there. Wow. I'm wondering what takes him so long. Last time it took him,
I thought we were
now they're just waiting and waiting, but
let the race start breathe here. But yeah, also from what I understand, we got Tyler Antle's family tuning in here as well. So just give a shout out to the Antle family. Oh, here we go. We're getting ready here.
Somebody found the lights, and they are now going on to red, and that means that we're nearly getting ready. You can hear the sound going on. And that first corner is scary with this many drivers. Look at this, and we're starting to drive. See Jake Ashe immediately going as wide as possible on that inside of Nicholas Mazza. We see Carter Stickney in Worlds already making a move. Peter Lee is past the corner. It looks like everybody's safe out of there. Jake Ashe has lost his spot on Chas Webber. Interesting to see over there, but Nicholas Mazza is really taking a strong lead over here. Look at that, going into this corner, away from all the others, and it's going to be dangerous over here. I'm very curious.
Yeah, this is going to be one of the first real tests here, this corner.
We do see some smoke, but it all seems to go very fine. Look at that, they did prepare for this. When we talk about that, Jake Ashe has taken his position back over there, right over there with Chas Webber. And Carter Stickney is now has to defend a little bit on Chris Girondellis. Ooh, that goes very close, but it does work.
Nicholas Mazza enjoying quite the lead here as the pack continues to battle behind him, and great racing here between Chaz and Jake. They are just trading spots back and forth. This is very tricky times with these cold tires.
Oh, that is wing. Well, I do know that sometimes without a wing you can go quicker, so hopefully he can find his speed. But look at that, Jake Ashe lost his spot on Carter Stickney.
So he's not going to enjoy that, but yeah, Carter Stickney working his way back up to the oh, we got another crash. Looks like Ian Whirl, David Michael Serra potentially.
What happened over there with Ian Whirl? Let's have a quick look behind there. By the way, I do see that Peter Lee is making a move, and he is making that move correctly on Richard Raboya, and he's going over there. All right, let's have a quick look what happened to Ian Worrell, one of our commentators. Runs a beautiful paint over there. It is it's taken a little bit. Oh! We were trying to have a first lap completely incident-free. That too bad didn't happen.
We've got both Ian Whirl and David Michael Serra in the 246 and 199 cars respectively, both down in pit road after that incident. The fighting continues throughout the field here. Those intervals not really getting any further away. In fact, right at the back here, oh, somebody's way off. Who was that? All the way in the back, Adrian, maybe Michael Pop. down there in 20th position. These guys were all bunched pretty close together. It's going to be real tough to make this work early on, but it looks like they got sorted.
Yeah, he's right in the back, but no damage as so far we can see. And we do see that he is a wild driver. So hopefully he can drive over there and back to that space. So let's have a quick
Drive
look
it
at
wild.
number 10, Tyler Antle. Has moved up 3 positions, and in front of him it's Bryce Tolman, and these 3 are making it very tight over there. Look at that. Interesting to see. And there goes Bryce Tolman winning that position over Justin Divin. But it's not over yet, because here comes the next group. Yeah, you can overtake here very easy. It's very hard to defend. Oh, looking on the inside. Tyler Antle is has to be careful right now, because now he sees Rusty Pontenberg right behind him. You can see Justin Devin takes a complete different line than the other drivers over there, and has now some difficulties because Rusty Pontenberg is trying on his back. Is he going to make that move, Rusty? Rusty's trying to look on the inside. He's making that move, and does he make it stick? They're going too wide right now. And that means that Rusty has the inside. But Justin Devin defends hard. Look at that, Rusty Pontenberg can't make that move. Yeah, he's trying to make it again. And can he stick it this time in to that first one? It looks like it. They're going too wide again. Wow, nice racing over here, but it does mean that that whole group is coming back. And Peter Lee is now going to take a look. Are we going 3 wide? We're going to try to 3 wide. Come on, let's go 3 wide, guys. First
Here we go.
corner.
2x2 instead. I'll take it.
Oh, we do have some bad news for the people who are following Adrian Fedorowski. He has been crashing in the back, but I can't lose this part. Driving along with Peter, who is passing right now on that inside. That is the preferred line, straight after Rusty Pontenberg. Look how easy they go through these corners. This whole group, look at that. Awesome racing from them. We go see a couple of people go off track over here. Happens more than once, but it is, they do make it work. And it looks like they're going to go 3 wide into this corner.
Oh, got squeezed, and that's going to be Craig Montgomery off track.
All right, let's have a quick look what exactly happened for Greg Montgomery. Oh! He just got a little bit of contact. Don't see much damage on his car, but that will ruin your race. And oh, nice recovery from Greg, not going onto the track. But that means that this group is a little bit slower. And now Jake Ashe is already into the pit. What is that? That is
with Joe Zubo,
one.
yeah. Very early. This is classic Jake here, doing the undercut, super undercut here, pitting as early as you possibly can.
Yeah, and do look with Bryce Tolman. He's now currently on the 5th position, 10 positions up, and he just scored a fastest lap. Oh, and I do see that Kurt Schmidt has crashed, I think together with Justin Devin. Exactly what happened over there. They went into that first corner. Took that inside line and yeah, slowly get touched. And oh, Rusty Pontenberg is also involved in that. But he could continue that drive, and Chris Smith had to tow his car.
I believe Peter Lee had a pretty good shot at that hole. Mess there, nose to tails.
Well, how's Peter doing? Peter is currently on that 9th position. He was in the back of the group, but he missed a little bit that group, and he's now running together with Richard Reboya. But Tyler Antle is in front of that, and he can hold on to that group for 4th. Bryce Tolman here in the front. And what do you think about position number 6, Melody Chance?
Yeah, great. Up 3 spots right now and really hanging tight. This battle for really 4th. So Bryce Tolman, Zach Snyder, Melody Chance, and Tyler Antle all really close. It looks like Melody's gonna make the move on Zach Snyder, goes off. We'll get the off track on that, I'm sure, but
hey, I'll take one off track if that
able to
means
make it
that,
work.
right
Able
there,
to make it work.
Now Sui does a really good job, but now she has to defend, and is that possible? Because yeah, he's gonna make the move. You can see that. Oh, but he also has to defend them on his own. Look at that. Tyler Antle has made the move on Zach Snyder. And he's now on that 7th position. And he can now, 6th position, and can now look at Melody Chance. If he can make that move, and he's going to make that move, is he going to go on the outside? It's a tricky position.
Oh, gonna get a little bit of a love tap there from Zach Snyder, but both cars able to keep it straight.
Yeah, they can make that work. We do see that Carter Stickney is a little bit ahead of them. And before that is also Bryce Tolman. And then we see Melody Chance now fighting hard with Tyler Antle. Yeah, Tyler will need to look into his back mirror because Zach Snyder doesn't give up that easy.
I will point out, so we mentioned it earlier, Jake Ashe and Joe Zubo are the first cars that have already pit, so keep your eyes on where they are versus our leader right now, Nicholas Mazza, who I haven't seen that gap change all that much. It's been about 2.5 seconds plus or minus for quite a while now, and if nothing else, it's actually kind of coming down a little bit. So let's look at Chaz Weber's ability to try to start reeling in that leader, if at all possible, as Tyler Antle makes the pass on the front stretch going across the start-finish line there on Melody Chance.
Yeah, and that's a move you can make over here, but oh, look at that. That was close, but Melody Chance had a good firm grip on her steering wheel and could hold that car really nicely. Didn't think that was any damage between them.
Kind of opened up the door there for Zach Snyder. He had a peek, but it wasn't going to happen.
And that's all in benefit for Tyler Antle, because he can now really hope it, but oh, slips a little bit away in that corner, and immediately Melody is in there. All right, so let's have a quick look. Yeah?
Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, another great battle, by the way. 9th position, we got Michael Popp, who's up 12 spots. Chris Georgianellis is down 5, but these guys have been side by side for quite a while here.
Yeah, Chris had that incident, and I do think he went into the pits because he does have an complete car right now, and they're going side by side in that corner. Always very difficult, but Michael Popp keeps it safe and does go behind it. Tries to set up here. I see that Bryce Tolman is now going into the pit. 11 positions up on the 4th position, this number 7 car. And he's taking the pit up here. It looks all very, very fast. We're sure that his brother gave him some advice about this one.
Yeah, 100%. Also, Zach Snyder, who was in that battle there with the 25 car of Tyler Ansel and the 6 car of Melody Chance, he's also in. Hopefully, I guess his take there is we're gonna get separated from those folks. Maybe get a little bit of clean track. Michael Pop, who we were just watching, is also down pit road.
Yeah, you were talking about Jake Ashe. Well, Jake Ashe is now currently passing all these people that are going into the pit, including Bryce Tolman. And him and Joe Zubo have seemed to start a pack and driving now on 9th and 10th position. But I think this is what Jake likes.
Jake's gap to Nicholas Mazza right now is 32 seconds. 32 seconds is the gap from Jake Ashe, who's our leader, who's already pit one time up to Nicholas Mazza. But yeah, that being said,
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say Nicholas Mazza just set the hot lap last time, the purple lap at a 1:48.89. So Nicholas Mazza not letting off the gas.
No, we've seen that before. Nicholas Mazza is really quick, but I was surprised that Chas Webber was in this Formula 2. I always thought that he had the Formula 1 speed, but while I say that, Nicholas Mazza is going into the pit, so he's going to make that move as well. Oh, and together with
Nicholas Mazza, Chas Webber,
Carter Stickney is going.
Tyler Ansel. Oh my gosh.
Who's not going to pit right now?
Right.
Well, now we're going to see what Jake Ashe's pit stop is really worth. Look at that. Everybody goes into the lane right now.
Literally everybody.
Except one person, and that is Jake Ashe. And Jake Ashe is now getting over to the line, onto the straight. Is he going to make this? It looks like Nicholas Mazza is getting right out of the pit over there. But I do have to say, Jake Ashe has pushed it and is past Chase Webber. Well done, Jake Ashe. Look at that. That was only his first pit stop. Going to be exciting when his second pit stop is coming in.
Yep, Jake pitted about 4 laps earlier than Nicholas Mazza. So keep your eyes on that. As they run after the pit stops here, we've got the 3 car of Mazza, the 77 of Ashe, the 8 of Chas Webber. Joe Zubo up 2 spots here in 4th position. And then Carter Stickney had a little bit longer. Well, actually, you know, Joe Zubo had a very quick pit stop. He was about 3 seconds faster than the rest of the crew. Jake Ashe also with a very fast pit time, so making up a lot of time on those quick fuelings. Clearly, they're going to have to come in maybe a little bit earlier than the rest of the field here for that second pit stop as well.
Yeah, and we are 16 minutes into this race, lap 9. And look at that, Joe Zubo can really benefit of driving behind Chas Webber and Jake Ashe. It's going to help him a lot, I think. And have a quick look at Bryce Tolman, because I do think that Bryce Tolman is getting really close to Carter Stickney. And he is setting something up right over here. Look at this, Carter Stickney is going wide, and Bryce Tolman doesn't have a good exit. So maybe not over here, but then there's another long straight. So just try to be as close as possible. Or is he going to make the move over here? Bryce Tolman, he is going to make the move. No. Well, at least he's looking at it, and this is costing him time. He should have stayed behind him, and then you can really have some benefit over here. But Bryce Tolman didn't choose that strategy and has to start all the way over there again. Chas Webber is getting really close to Jake Ashe, and Joe Zubo is driving along. I do think that they're really working together. See if they can actually catch up with Nicholas Mazza. And here we go, the fight for position number 13. Richard Verboya, Greg Sharp, and Greg Montgomery are Greg Montgomery a little bit farther away, but Greg Sharp is here really trying to see if he can make a move.
Yeah, Chris Georgian else in the 352 car is able to make the pass on Michael Pop just a couple corners ago and has started to gap this group, but these three remain kind of under a blanket here and locked in a great battle.
Yeah, we're just looking at that move Chris Girondellis does. Yeah, that is the way how you pass here in RedBull Ring. It is that long straight, and then you just go into the inside. Chris Girondellis knows what he's doing over there, but he is still on that 12th position, so needs to make up some spots. Has a decent pace over here. Let's have a quick look what Melody Chance is doing here on the 8th position, trying to follow Tyler Antel, who's really getting into his rhythm.
Just a quick update, it does look like Bryce Tolan was able to finally make that pass on Carter Stickney going into turn 1 there, so he will take over the 5th spot. However, Carter Stickney right back on the gearbox.
Yeah, that's the part, but I do see actually when we look at the replay here that Bryce Tolman got that spot for free, because we do know that Carter Stickney was immediately coming back, holding a little bit over there, and he's now trying to follow Bryce Tolman. How's that fight going with Jake Ashe and Chas Weber?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that up. So 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here. Suddenly, we've got a battle going brewing here. Chaz Weber, Jake Ashe, Joe Zubo. Another 5 seconds back to Bryce Tolman, who we were just looking at. So we'll see if Bryce can catch up to this pack and make it 4, with Carter Stickney making it 5. But right now, it's the Chaz Weber show, dragging these two guys along with him. 4 seconds, just under 4 seconds, is the gap to the leader, Nicholas Mazza.
4 seconds is not that much. There's one thing that can go wrong. You could have a bad pit stop. It's not safe yet. Nicholas Mazza still needs to focus here 100%. But we do see that Chaz Weber is now making really a lot of speed. And Jake Ashe is staying behind there together with Joe Zubo. I know Joe Zubo and Jake Ashe, they're working together. It's got to be. It's got to be that CAF OK Racing Network team.
Yeah, one would think, and this is, we talked a little bit, we talked earlier about working together in the BRL race this morning, but this is really where it pays off, especially in these skippy races where there's a good amount of draft. Just having somebody with you that you trust, who's, you stay nose to tail like that, and use the draft to your advantage. Maybe switch off to help each other save fuel and close those gaps up a little bit. But
and we do drive
to your
along
point,
here with
4
Carter.
seconds is definitely doable.
Yeah, although we do see that they're hard in picking up. And while I see that, I do see that there's a big fight going on here with Michael Pop and Chris Girondellis. Chris is going on the outside and can hold it, and basically on the back there's also a fight over there with Greg Montgomery and Greg Sharp.
Michael Pop had clawed his way back. I know.
Who doesn't like
I don't
this track?
understand
Come
why
on,
like
look at this. There's awesome fights going everywhere. Kurt Smith over here, 17th position, is looking, sits there first. Whoa. I don't know exactly what happened. Are you still there, Chris?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, good. A little bit of a stutter, so let's go quickly back to position number 1. I see Jake Ashe back in the pit together with Joe Zubo. Looks like a Siemens twin up here, following each other everywhere.
Well, we knew this was going to happen. These two were the first to pit for that first pit stop, so we'll see what their pit time. Oh, looks like Joe Zubo may have overshot his pit stall just a little bit. That's going to hurt. That's going to cost a second or two.
Yeah, and we will see that when they come out of there, because you do see that Jake Ashe is already going out. But I do want to have a quick look at Carter Stickney. Is he going to look within Bryce Tolman's inside? He is going to make that move. Really late move. But he couldn't make it stick, and Bryce Tolman is moving up to that 3rd position right there. 12 positions up from where he started. Awesome job of him.
Also down pit road, Melody Chance and Greg Sharp. So we've got some strategy at play here as we start to waterfall into the pit stall.
Yeah, so let's have a quick look at those times that we currently have on the pit stop. Melody actually very short compared to everybody else. Nearly 3 seconds quicker. Did she only do 1 pit stop?
Yeah, both her and Greg Sharp were in there, but yeah, 9.9 seconds.
Wow.
As opposed to, Jake Ashe was 11.95, so
and she is
clearly some discrepancies there.
Yeah, exactly. Melody Chance currently on the 16th position, but is really fighting back to have a little bit of a chance. Currently 10 seconds away from Kurt Smith. Kurt Smith here fighting with Richard Reboya and Craig Montgomery. And a little bit on front of there is Joe Zubo. What happened to Joe?
I'm not sure. He fell back.
That was of course his
quite
pit stop. His bad pit stop. You were saying it.
That's right. He was a little bit longer. I think that was due to the overshoot there. And he just had Michael Pop and Chris Georginos came in and split he and Jake there, just based on traffic. Peter Lee, Rusty Pottenberg, Kurt Smith, all down pit road. And I'll tell you this, Chris Georginos and Mike Pop battle here continues to rage on. These guys have spent more time looking sideways at each other than they have in each other's draft.
And now you're getting into that period where you need to fight for your position, and currently Michael Pop is doing that, looking on the inside over here with Chris Geronderis, and Chris has done this before, defending on the outside, but is not making it work right now. He just goes to the inside. All right, he takes the other wild driver with him, Joe Zubo, and Joe Zubo is now also passing Michael Pop. Maybe some game team play going along in here. Chris is defending hard
seemingly
over.
Joe Zubo's had a embarrassment of riches with potential allies here for the race, but yeah, Chris certainly not one of them. So we'll see this battle here as Joe tries to get around in the 352 car. Bryce Tolman down pit road. That was a great battle, by the way. Bryce Tolman down pit road. Carter Stickney opted not to. That was the battle for 3rd position. They had been trading purple laps back and forth, basically. So those guys were really going at it, and that was a lot of fun. Hopefully for them. But yeah, Carter opting not to pit with Bryce and maybe get some clean track out there.
Yeah, we will see what happens right after here, because I do think that Carter Stickney will have to go in very fast. Jake Ashe take the benefit of taking that early pit stop. What happens there? Oh, look at that. Bryce Tolman is just behind Jake Ashe. That's going to be interesting to see those two fight. They clearly both have speed, but look in the back as well. There's a fight for position number 7. Who is not involved? Joe Zubo, Chris Gerondelis, Michael Pop, Richard Reboya. 4th going too wide. Joe Zubo makes that move here. No, Chris Gerondelis has the speed. He has done this now the whole race. Amazing job.
Yeah, he gets a great run off the turn there into this long straightaway. So that outside line seems to be working really well for him from a defensive perspective.
Yeah, and he's now defending with Joe Zubo. Doesn't want to do that. Oh, you can see that going wrong.
Oh!
Yeah, that was clearly Chris Gerondelis didn't expect Joe Zubo to go on the inside over there, but he was there. And that gave him some damage and really lost a lot of track control. And while I say that, Carter Stickney is going into the pit, so we're going to see some interesting parts. Look at Jake Ashe running away from Bryce Tolman. Bryce Tolman can't follow Jake Ashe. Interesting to see that.
We've got Carter Stickney, Tyler Hentel down pit road. This is going to be cycling everybody through. Nicholas Mazza, Chaz Weber, 1-2. Obviously have not been down pit road for the second time, but time's running out for them here. Jake Ashe, Bryce Tolman, to your point, are not that far behind. 31 seconds, which I think was enough to maintain the lead the last go around, and presumably Nicholas Mazza and Chaz Weber both will need less time in the pits, less fuel needed to make it to the end. So we'll see how it goes.
We'll see how it goes. We do see that Carter Stickney is going to follow in that group. This is going to be an interesting ending, I think. Who's going to be on that podium? Because Bryce Tolman is getting now closer and closer to Jake Ashe, and Carter Stickney is right behind there. Still for 4th position.
Yeah, these are all very fast drivers, so I got to imagine they can get into the draft cone there, if you will. They will find each other here very quick.
Let's have a quick look at Nicholas Mazza. Always get a bit dizzy when I look at his car. He's going right into the pit over here. Makes that pit, and let's
joining him.
Quick look. Look at that. He was right on time to go off to the pedal. And it looks like he's managing his... he doesn't have a pit limiter on, which is very interesting to see. People do that. You can gain time, but you can also lose a lot of time. Chaz Weber is standing also still. So where's Jake Ashe in this part? He is far, far away. He's getting now onto the straight.
He's crossing, yeah, crossing the start-finish line there. Not sure it's going to be quite enough.
Well, maybe he can get a good run and get behind Chaz Weber. But it doesn't look like that. No, that's too far away.
And meanwhile, Carter Stickney just made the pass there on Bryce Tolman, at least momentarily. So now it's going to be Carter leading the way, trying to chase down Jake Ashe for that final podium position.
Yeah, and we can do this all night long. This is going to be the whole time looking in which corner you're going to do. If you don't do it up here, then you got to be smart. And I do see that Carter Stickney lost a little bit of traction, and immediately Bryce Tolman is looking. Look at that. Takes it side by side. Is really going to aim for that first corner. He's going to plunge into that. No, he's not. He's going right behind him, trying to get some more draft. Not going to make that move right over here.
Well, we're inside of 4 minutes remaining in the race here, so the laps are growing small. So I think at this point it's game on. Trying to chase down the likes of Jake Ashe, Chaz Weber, Nick Mazza is going to be a tall order. So I believe that these guys have decided this is for their final position here.
Yeah, we do see that Jake Ashe is 1.4 seconds. It's possible, but then he needs to give up a little bit of more power right now. Chaz Weber is just really solid the whole race already. That's also how I know Chaz is a very safe and fast driver, and can do that throughout the race. But I'm more interested in about... Whoa, let's have a quick look. My camera's moved because Bryce Tolman and Carter Stickney were going that quick. And look at Carter Stickney. Every time he takes that corner, he gives a little loose of grip. And Bryce Tolman is really looking on the inside. Because that inside line, that's the preferred line. But Carter Stickney holds him, but defends it really well. Is he going to make the move? No, he's not going to make the move. He's going to wait till the last lap. For sure, Bryce Tolman, we ain't seen nothing yet. He's going to make that move on Carter, but for now he's waiting there. Look in the back for position number 14, Greg Montgomery and Greg Sharp are fighting hard. And are basically in that same position. I'm curious if Greg Sharp is basically kissing the back over there. Is he going to make that move? He's not. All right, Greg, if you want to be in the broadcast, you need to pass some people. For now, let's go back to the number 5. Yeah.
They will have one more lap to make these pass attempts. There are a few good areas to do it, and then there's bad areas to try to make that pass attempt. I think we've kind of seen that play out so far this evening. But yeah, it's right now Carter Stickney, Bryce Tolman for 4th position. Easily the closest racing we've got outside of Rusty Pontenberg and Zach Snyder for the final top 10 spot.
Yeah, I'm curious because this is this the last lap? I'm always confused about that. We should find a system to get it.
It's I didn't see when Mazda crossed the start.
Oh, and look at this. Bryce Tolman is going on the inside. A lot sturdier than last lap, and he's going to make it move into Carter Stickney. Carter Stickney can't defend that. Or can he? Because we've seen Chris Girondellis do it. He's going to try it. Look at that. Chris... Oh, Bryce Tolman is not making that. Look at that. Carter Stickney is doing the same thing as Chris did. But it's still another option right over here. And he's not making that move. Look at that. Carter Stickney on the outside made that better move. Interesting for the people who are going to race in the Formula 1 to know this. That outside line does work. Nicholas Brian Tolman has proved that he can't make it, but he can still make that. Look at this. Is he going to make that move? And while I say that, I do want to have a quick look at Nicholas Mazda, because if he is going to get his flag, then we need to see that, of course.
That is right. Coming around the final turn here for, we believe, is the final time, the number 3 car.
And he is getting the flag over here. And look at that, the celebration that we got. And right behind there is Chas Webber coming in. Jake Ashe right behind there. And then we see the fight for Bryce Tolman. Bryce Tolman is going to keep it over there. Carter Stickney can't make it. Oh, that's a very, very nice introduction on Bryce Tolman. That 4th position that he had. Joe Zubo comes in on 6th. Tyler Antol is 7th position. And then we see Melody Chance here getting over the line. Look at that. Peter Lee, number 9. Rusty Pontenberg. I see Greg Montgomery coming in a little bit later. Jack Snyder, Michael Popp on the 13th position. Great to see him in this league. Richard Ribaya, 16th position. Chris Girondellis, too bad of those incidents. But he's on the 17th position, coming in right here. And then we see slowly Ian Worrell. We have to ask Chris, what has happened to Ian Worrell? I didn't see it, but 18th position. We know he can do a lot better.
Clearly not the evening he's looking for, down 10 spots. Unfortunate for Mr. Ian Worrell, but I'm looking forward to asking him about it in Skippy Formula 1.
Exactly.
Maybe that's a good idea. We'll see.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great stories. I want to bet you it's going to be great stories all around it. And while we wait for the last people, Justin Devon is coming in over here, and that's also this league. Like, we're all driving and we're all finishing as well. Justin Devon, 19th position, and on the 20th position here, Adrian Fedorowski. We saw that incident earlier, and yeah, this is awesome racing. Yeah, this was a little bit our Formula 2.
Yeah, a couple good takeaways from that last lap there. Jake Ashe really made a great push, finished within a second there of Chaz Webber, and was able to take the purple lap in doing so. And then Bryce Tolman making the pass on Carter Stickney with 2 turns to go before the end of the race. So some really great racing on display here for Skippy Formula 2. Very healthy grid. And great formation, great sportsmanship here. I love this part, and you can hear the drivers chatting with each other and just having a great time. So yeah, great to see Skippy Formula 2, Pim, and they just make it so much fun.
Yeah, they make it very much fun, and we will definitely see more of this in our Formula 2. For now, we're going to take a small little break, and we will see each other back at the Formula 1 race.
Welcome back, race fans, and welcome back to virtual Austria here at the RedBull Ring, where we just saw the Skippy Formula 2 drivers have a fantastic race and really serve up what should be an excellent Skippy Formula 1 race as well. The drivers are currently out on the track sitting there flying laps to set the grid for tonight's main event. And joining me tonight in the booth is Peter Lee. Peter, how are you doing tonight?
Chris, I'm doing great, and I'm very relieved to be done with my race here.
Yes, and we will definitely, well, for both of you actually, also joining us tonight, also having just finished his Skippy Formula 2 race, Ian Whirl. Ian, how are you?
Hey, I'm echoing from a much further back in the pack position the sentiments of our last speaker.
Yeah, I was gonna say we may get into that
Let's not talk
a little bit.
No.
Yeah, it's easy for Pim and I to sit here and talk about how much we love the track, but we didn't have to race it, so there you go. But that being said, we're looking forward to your we're looking forward to your insights on what this track feels like, because the conditions are exactly the same. So if you weren't here for Skippy Formula 2, it's a great night to go racing. Track is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, nice calm winds as they, let's see, a minute and 48 seconds is their fastest lap right now around this 2.68 mile track. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We've got one pit stop, so this is a little bit weird. Something went a little wrong with the session. The only real difference here is should be a one pit stop race, but it's a 45-minute race, so we've kind of mixed the two concepts here. So normally 45-minute race would be two pit stops. We're going to roll with one, but it's still going to be of the longer variety here at RedBull Ring, which will offer a couple more laps of excitement. I guess we'll start with Peter. What were your big takeaways from the race, and what are you looking forward to in this Skippy Formula 1?
Well, the track conditions are just about perfect. It's a pretty cool track. I think it's 70 degrees for the Skippy Formula 2 race. It's probably the same for Skippy Formula 1. And with a 45-minute race and the fuel limitation requiring only one refueling stop, that's going to take some of the strategy away from this race. So it's going to be really all about who is the fastest and who can manage the draft the best.
And that too is going to pull into the fuel stopping, because this is a very drafty track. And if you can manage the draft really well and sit behind the leader or a couple of cars back and get sucked along, you're going to be running 3/4 throttle most of the lap. And so when you stop you can stop a lot later than everybody else, or stop with everybody else and get a lot less fuel and see if you can jump them in the pits.
Absolutely right.
Yeah,
And, I think we both struggled a little bit in our Skippy Formula 2 races, because if you don't have a fast draft partner out on track, if you're a little bit out on an island, you could really suffer for a while. You'll lose time to the other drivers.
Yep, very true.
The thing that we noticed big time was it looked like the separate. I mean, there was clearly some folks who were fast and had the pace and were able to make, put some gaps out there. But a lot of the separation occurred just because of incidents and things. When you had drivers close together, as long as you were of similar pace, it seems like you were able to stick in a tight group.
Yeah, that was true.
Passing here is frustrating, and I think a lot of the chatter in the league Discord this week was not too kind to this track in these cars, because indeed there's a lot of draft. It's hard to lose people who are in your draft, and if you make a pass, it's not really possible to create separation. And so that invites a ton of 2 wide and even 3 wide situations through some of these fast turns. And in the Skippy Formula 2 race, we saw some pretty wild accidents because of that.
I didn't see any wild accidents at all.
Certainly not.
Yeah,
certainly.
I don't know that I saw any either, because when they happened in front of me, I had my eyes tightly closed.
Yes. Let's not talk about that. So it's a beautiful day here in Austria. I understand.
It really is.
This is Gürken Demir's home racetrack. Is that right?
This is Casa de la Gherkin, I believe. I don't know uh, how to say that, but we have finished our qualifying time. Ian, who do we got on the pole?
Well, it's looking like usual suspects once again. There up on the front is Leo with a time of in the 148s, followed very closely by Jeffrey Decker. Philippe Jett seems to have come out in third. That's awesome to see, with Carl Dronke alongside of him. And then we've got Gurkan Demir, home track 913, alongside of Jeff Snavely. Then Sammy Bridges. My God, Sammy Bridges up in seventh. Isn't that amazing? From the Carolinas in the 976 car. He's really starting to do really, really well. Alongside of Scott Bell. And Scott will be not having his fillings run out of him on this track because it's not as bumpy as last one. It's nice and smooth, being an F1 track. Mike Bowers in ninth. Alongside of him is Mark Rayner. Jonathan Dockery is bringing in the 11th position, and JR Hoops in 12th. And then in the next set of pack behind them, we've got Thomas Fotos, Benjamin Harris, RJ McKenzie, Chris Stewart, Aaron Law, Jason Berkheimer, Steve Doerr in 19th, and Brian Perez in 20th. And then at the back of them is Charlie McCarthy, Jeff Torbeck, Connor Tolman, Jason Bice, and Andrew Cole. I wonder what happened to Jason that he's so far back. He qualified 24.
Yeah, I think Jason did not put in qualifying time, and neither did Connor Tolman or Andrew Cole. And so they've decided, maybe for safety reasons, to not put in a qualifying time. And I'll note that the top 11 qualifiers are covered by less than 1 second, and the top 21 qualifiers are covered by less than 2 seconds. And so think of the top 21 drivers, really think of the whole field as under the same draft cone, at least for lap one.
It's quite good. It's going to be amazing to watch. I have a feeling that there's going to be quite a few laps before, unless there's some crazy accidents. There's going to be quite a few laps before there's any separation between these groups.
And the refueling window, I think, is only going to be about 2 laps wide. So the drivers really won't have a choice to undercut or overcut. They'll just have to come in when they are running dry. So, I think it's all about finding a draft buddy, staying clean, and hopefully in the last few laps trying to make some kind of move.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see this race. A good start here also would be good, would be useful. And then, as you say, keeping it clean. I see that Matthew thinks that Jason and Connor will be on a tear. Yeah, I imagine they will be, but it's not going to be easy to get up from the back in this pack on this track. And I don't mean to rhyme.
Hello.
And I see they're starting the grid.
Yeah, we're getting ready to go green, gents. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, we've got a few cars on the grid. Not everybody is yet. We're still waiting for 2 and 4. Looking at the grid camera right now. Nice view from the you tear it, we'll scare it blimp. And as you can see,
for viewers that don't know, this is an FIA-approved Formula One track. It's the home of the Styrian Formula One Grand Prix, and it has a very long, slow pit lane. So that one pit stop is going to take some time. There's also a very dangerous rule about not crossing the white lines on the pit entry lane. If you do that, you're subjected to.
Here we go, guys. Lights are red, they're on, and we're racing. Under green, and immediately Decker pulls to the left to try and cover off Philippe Jett in the green number 3 car, and his frogs go vroom, vroom, vroom. And down into turn 1.
Everyone is getting through turn 1 cleanly. There's now this long uphill straight. This is one of the primary drafting zones. And then at the end here, there's a semi-hairpin where everyone goes from 5th gear all the way down to 1st gear. This is maybe the second most dangerous point on the track.
Ooh, and I saw Jeffrey get very close to back of Leo and had to back out of it a little bit, which concertinaed both Philippe Jett and Carl Dronke. And I think there's been a bump in the back. Is that right?
Does look like there was some contact, but everyone seems to be okay with their cars so far.
Okay, and the front pack is going through quite nicely. The second hairpin coming into the big double left-hander, sorry, sweeper. And on cold tires, this is a lot of fun.
Oh, this is a real joy to drive through these S's.
Yeah.
A lot of respect being shown by the drivers here on these cold tires, and it looks like we've pretty much sorted out single file here throughout the field. So we'll let the drivers get settled in here and see when they decide they're going to try to start making moves.
We're showing that RJ McKenzie, just as an update, has disconnected for some reason. So I don't know if he is having technical difficulties, but he has dropped out of the race.
Okay. And I note that Andrew Cole, Jason Bice, and Charlie McCarthy from the back have moved positions. Jason's up 2, Charlie McCarthy's down 2, Andrew Cole's up 1, and Jeff Torbeck is down 3.
And they've negotiated turn 1 again safely. If you watched the Skippy Formula 2 race, you were probably witness to some pretty spectacular crashes. And so as the race develops and people get more desperate to gain track position, we'll have to watch to see if they can keep this up.
Absolutely.
Got a great battle here for P7 as Sammy Bridges is trying to hunt down Jeff Snavely. You can see a little bit of a gap forming there between Jeff and Gherkin Demir. Gherkin is the caboose there of the lead pack, so this is essentially your second pack here. Sammy's going to look to the inside on that right-hander before the two left-hander S's here. Gonna maybe bring Scott Bell with him. Nope, Scott's going to look to the inside, actually. And Scott Bell rocking that Steelers paint scheme. I think he's got one eye on the game, one eye on the race. So.
It's a little surprising he's in the race. That shows real commitment.
I give him props. I give him props. Way to go, Team Bell. I will say that's a lot of.
I lived at Pittsburgh for 24 years, and I don't even know if it's legal for him to be doing this instead of watching the Steelers game. He might be violating some local city laws in Pittsburgh.
Well, I'm hoping that Gamer Liz is probably giving him updates as to what the score is.
That's exactly right. So back up front here, Leo continues to lead the race, but as you can see, Jeffrey Decker remains glued to the gearbox there, along with Philippe Jett and Carl Dronke. Gherkin kind of starting to fall off the back there, but once again, you know, these long straightaways, who knows? Oh, they're going to spread way out wide. Jeffrey Decker's going to go to the outside. We've seen this work in Skippy Formula 2. If he can make that stick and get a good run off corner exit, this may be the momentum he needs.
You know, it's really interesting. You defend on the inside line in turn 1, but actually you get a better launch out of the turn on that outside line. And so it is looking like Jeffrey is just going to eke out maybe.
No, he's going to lose it in this next turn. He'll lose it in this next turn.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is allowing Philippe Jett and Carl Dronke, Gherkin Demir to really catch back up to these two.
Yep. And now you've got the two, but that little front pack is just starting to ease away now from the guys behind them. And Mike Bowers and Scott Bell are having a bit of a ding-dong battle.
Yeah, Jeff Snavely was involved in there. He's way off. He's in the gravel. They were catching up to Jeff there.
It looked like Jeff was sticking his nose underneath Mike Bowers in turn 3 and just could not hold it on track.
Yeah. Lost a lot of positions. He's now down 6 places as Jeff Snavely. Aaron Lars up 6. Jonathan Dockery's up 1. Mark Rayner's up 1. Scott hasn't moved. He's still rolling along in the 8th position. Mike Bowers is up 2. Sammy Bridges is up 1. And the whole top front pack, Gherkin Demir, Carl Dronke, Philippe Jett, Jeffrey Decker and Leo or Chavov are keeping their positions.
Well, this group here, led by who is that? Mark Rayner, I believe, in the 9th spot. So yeah, Dockery, Lost, Snavely, Photos, Hoops, Stewart. This whole group right here, maintaining really close contact. This is the battle for 9th.
I'm seeing also back for the battle for P19, Jason Bice in a real battle with, let's see, in fact, having a little trouble, Connor Tolman.
And you know what, Jeff Snavely has just done to that group what Jeffrey Decker was trying to do to Leo, and he managed to make it stick, taking that outside line and turn in the hairpin, and just getting a really good launch and managing to keep that position as the pack does come up a bit behind him.
Yeah, there. Look at this, Dockery and Aaron Law in the 901 and 47 cars going side by side through the entire S's, actually all the way from turn 4, really. And Jeff Snavely is trying to figure out how the heck I'm going to get past these guys. There we go. He's going to look to the inside there, going into the final 2 sweeping right-hand turns. Going to back out, thinking better of it, though.
Boy, that train of cars, starting with Mark Rayner in P9, all the way through, all the way down to Steve Dewar in P21, they are just stuck to each other, just in this big draft hill.
Don't even talk about stuck to each other. Have you seen Decker over the back end of Leo? I tell you, it is insane how close those guys are getting to each other. And I can see that Carl Dronke's starting to make a move on Philip Jett. They're going too wide up again to the hairpin. And again, Jeffrey has got a slight lead out on the outside. Leo is blinking a little bit there, so we're going to have to watch that. And Decker is now firmly in front of Leo. And Carl is up alongside of him. The question is going to be, can Carl hold it, make it stick? Can Jeffrey keep that as Leo has that slightly shorter inside line? But it looks like, oh, he breaks late. Manages to keep the second place, makes Decker go wide. But Decker keeps that position, and Carl slots in behind him. Now, of course, these guys are going to be desperate also to get some points for running in first place, right?
Yeah, and you can see also in that whole sequence, both Philippe Jetté and Leo Ovtcharov in that turn 3, were forced on the inside on a defensive line. It really compromised their exit from that turn, and they both lost positions as a result.
Yeah.
A little bit further back, Mike Bowers peeking to the outside of Scott Bell with Sammy Bridges looking on there. They're going to come around the last 2 turns before the start-finish line and it looks like Scott's going to be able to maintain that. That's kind of tough, but Mike's definitely been peaking.
Decker still seems to have Leo behind him. And takes his lap.
But Leo's getting a strong toe, and this time Leo's going to claim the outside line coming up into this turn. And in fact, it looks like Jeffrey might be willing to just concede the point here.
I don't know. He's pushing it.
Never.
No, there is no such thing as back it out.
And now we see also
so hard.
Philippe Jetté is getting past Gurkan Demir. That outside line just seems to be the way to go on the exit of that turn.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Although, if the person that you're racing against isn't quite as switched on as they need to be, if you're on the inside line, even though you don't get such a good exit, you can still easily pick up that position. But these guys are all really good, so there's no messing with them. I see that Chris Stewart crashed. Is that right?
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to go 3 wide into turn 3 there, that near hairpin.
Boy, this battle for P6, currently held by Mike Bowers in the 76 car, but still being pursued by Scott Bell, Sammy Bridges, Aaron Law, Mark Rayner, Jonathan Dockery, and Jeff Snavely. It is, I think you could fit all of those cars in the proverbial phone booth right now, the way they're going.
And that group has definitively now broken away from the group behind them that's led by Mike Bowers. They've got a 5.5, almost 6-second gap on behind from Demir back to Mike Bowers. As the fastest lap of the race is set by Philippe Jet, a 1:48.05.
So this battle for the lead just won't relent. These guys, this pass attempt into turn 3 seems really popular. It feels that straightaway where you get to draft and get a good run, but you just really need that outside lane. You need to fake the guy into thinking you want the other one, or I don't know. Like these guys are obviously savvy enough to know that that's not the case. But
then
it does look like Leo's actually gonna be able to pull that off.
And it will Carl pass Decker.
Well, the Decker can cover off the inside line here, and so this is going to compromise at least Carl a little bit.
Yeah, but Decker's going to have to brake a little earlier than everybody else, and he's going to have a slower exit. Carl maybe try and do the over-under here. A bit too far back.
You know, Chris, to the point you were just making, it's a frustration, actually, and you should be patient. That the side-by-side dicing is actually making you slower overall, allowing further back of field cars to catch up. But it's something about this track. It's just irresistible because you're getting such a strong toe from the draft. And the way I drive, I like to be careful, patient. That all just goes out the window at this track.
It's a good theory, but when you got a good run. Hey, by the way, you know who's having a great run? Qualified 11th, I believe. Currently running 12.
Dockery crashed.
Yeah, just about to compliment him on his purple lap and broadcaster's curse at its finest.
Chris, that was a masterful broadcaster's curse.
Oh, look at this, Decker and Leo. Oh, are they gonna try? Is Carl gonna? He's trying to figure out who to follow down there into turn 4. Pick your poison, I suppose.
Just a quick update on that Jonathan Dockery, and it looked like Jeff Snavely just got into the gearbox a little bit with Jonathan Dockery and spun him around out of turn 1.
His car did look okay, and he looks like he's back on track.
Man, I am really impressed with these leaders' internet connections because these guys are driving inches apart.
Pulling back a bit to the battle for P14, it's fantastic to see one of the storied veterans of Skippy Formula 1. He had taken a break from racing here to race in the real world in karts. Connor Tolman, he's holding on P14, but he's being pursued really, really aggressively by Jason Weiss, Chris Stewart, and Steve Dewar in that battle for P14. But Connor's holding his own there.
I mean, he's being followed by 3 OGs right there. This is the AARP of SNS battle right here.
As Scott Bell sets the fastest lap now of a 1:47.94, not just to be eclipsed by Chris Stewart, but 1:47.86.
Look at this, Scott Bell leading Mike Bowers and Aaron Law down there into turn 3. This is also, there's just some great battles throughout the field here. This is always an embarrassment of riches here in Sunday Night Skippy, but this is the battle for 6th position. So Scott Bell's up 2 spots, Mike Bowers up 2 spots, Aaron Law's up 9 positions. Sammy Bridges is down 2, but he is right there. Carl Dronke also making moves here. Look at this. This is the story of this front pack, is it not? You got Leo and Jeffrey side by side, and Carl trying to figure out who the heck is going to have the run.
Yeah.
What
No,
I
my
don't
question is-
understand is how is the lead pack, with Jeffrey Decker and Leo Ovtcharov going side by side through half of each lap, how are they extending their gap to Scott Bell and P6?
Yeah, I think we need to have an SF1A. Put them in it.
Yeah. The gap from Philippe Jeté, who's in P5 in that front pack, to Scott Bell in P6 is now 5 seconds. And that's despite the fact that these guys at the front,
We're gonna be
look,
going
they're
three wide.
3 wide, baby. Woo!
oh boy. Now, I would say normally
Carling's
this
first.
does not end well.
Real inside line, and keeps it going. But Decker's got a better run, which pushes Leo back into 3rd place. Carl up into 2nd, and I see that Gherkin is a challenging Leo now, and he's getting a little boxed. So Gherkin's going to have the inside going into the hairpin. This is going to get interesting.
If form follows here, we should see Leo get a better exit.
And Gherkin ran a bit wide and hit that big old sausage curb there. But yes, he definitely got a better exit as Gherkin slots in behind him. Now, I have a question. If none of them actually run a single lap in 1st place, like because they keep swapping the lead, who gets the lap?
I think it's determined as they cross the start-finish line, isn't that?
Okay, so you only have to be in 1st as you cross the start-finish line.
Right.
Wouldn't it be annoying if you could be like right behind the person every time you get the start-finish line, you're in front and then they pass you?
We haven't called out JR Hoops and Thomas Photos too much. They are in their own little 2-car battle for P12. And JR is just really feeling the heat from Thomas Photos. And you get this sense that Thomas, with the draft of JR, is probably a little bit faster, but not quite fast enough yet to make a pass stick.
And Bice is pushing to catch up there with his own little pack of Bice, Stewart, Tolman, and Doer. They're now just about 2 seconds back from Hoops and Photos. Bice is up 10 places, and I think he's our biggest climber right now.
Well, just behind them, the battle for 18th heating up. Andrew Cole is going to go side by side with Jason Berkheimer. They're going to touch.
Oh, that's unusual because normally you would expect both drivers to just hold their lines coming down the front straight.
I mean, those guys had been battling for quite a while. That's just really rough.
Carl Dronke takes over 1st place.
Holy cow.
Doing the same inside-outside thing, and they go 2 wide into the corners again. Leo being challenged by Gherkin, trying to keep that place. Gherkin slow, coming out and slotting back. Carl looks like he's got it by nose right now.
Yeah, Carl is using as much of the track as Jeffrey Decker is allowing him.
And Leo is pushing Jeffrey a little wide, trying to take that inside line. And we have a new leader, another new leader. Isn't it refreshing to have somebody there that's not Leo or Jeffrey?
Carl, go, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Meanwhile, back
We
at battle for
love the-
P14, Chris Stewart has managed to get past Connor Tolman. And so he's now in that P14, and Jason Bice is challenging Connor Tolman.
And Jason Bice. Yeah, Jason was out front. I wonder what happened there.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that Andrew Cole crashed. Wonder Andrew.
That was
That was the...
Oh!
Jason Berkheimer, yes.
Dang. No, I was watching the live race and I hadn't realized that was an actual big old crash. It's like, whoa.
So on that front straight,
Very.
braking for turn 1, Jason Bice now has gotten past Connor Tolman.
Carl
Carl continues to lead the race here in that 38 machine, and we're loving that. Jeffrey Decker, though, actually the whole gang is there. Decker, Charov, Demir, and Jete. So this race is far from over. Let's not forget, we still have a pit stop left. A lot can happen between now and then.
Yeah, no one has pitted yet, so
Yeah, in fact, the pit window will be opening possibly on this lap. I think probably the next lap.
Now that also brings up something interesting because we have two cars that have towed and are in the pits. If they refuel, they probably will be able to make it to the end of the race. Are they yet a lap down?
Boy, this incredible battle for P6 involving.
And Leo's
Mark
in and Decker's in. Both of them into the pits.
So the pit
Here we
window
go.
is open.
And so's Aaron Lahr. He's in the pits.
Now,
Yeah,
Leo Uptroff and Jeffrey Decker are pretty famous this season for exiting the pit side by side, but there is only one lane on this.
Yeah, they're not doing it. They're not going to do that now. I wonder who is going to be coming out first.
Yeah, this is big here.
And they're both moving together.
They're coming out side by side.
And Leo got out first.
Yeah, I don't think Decker had much of a choice there. He was going to get sandwiched, so he chose to fight,
A quick
live, and
update
fight
to that
another lap.
battle between JR Hoops and Thomas Photos. Thomas Photos has managed to get around JR Hoops and is now sitting in P9.
And a little bit further back there, Connor Tolman and Chris Stewart. Connor Tolman's going to make the pass there on Chris Stewart. Chris Stewart look back to the inside.
Yeah, and that battle is allowing Jason Bice maybe to try. Jason might have a chance to open up a gap here. He's still towing those other cars around behind him, but a little more dicing like that, it could really help Jason. Jason's all the way up to P11 from not qualifying.
Yeah, 13 places. He's doing really, really well. As our leaders now pit. Now the question is this: they've done an extra lap. They're going to need a little bit less fuel. Do you think they're going to be able to get out closer?
We'll find out soon.
Well, the likes of Philippe Jete, Scott Bell, Sammy Bridges, Jeff Snavely, Mark Rayner are trying to take that to the next level. Wait one more lap, take a little bit less fuel.
And Gurkin to me is the pit exit, and so is Carl Dronke. So here we go.
Boy, that was a very fast pit
Wow.
stop for Gurkin Demir.
And he is in front of... Who is that? He is in front of...
That was
Of
Jonathan
Leo.
Dockery, but now he's just getting up to speed. Leo Offtroff is going to make it 3 wide going into turn 3.
Oh, and they hit Jonathan Dockery. Knock him
Jonathan
out.
Dockery. Oh, poor Jonathan Dockery. That was really
there's
unfortunate.
And he should... That's a protest. There's a protest for you.
Well, this is going
That
to be
was
one for the
poor
steward.
position. Dockery. He
had every right to be there.
To pit, but
Yep.
He had every right to be there.
well, the top 5 suddenly becomes the top 3, at least for the moment here.
Well, don't forget,
With,
Philippe has to pit yet, right?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The presumptive leader, Leo Charov here, Jeffrey Decker and Gurkin Demir.
Okay,
And
so
it does
Philippe
look like-
has still not pitted, which is perplexing, to say the least.
Just taking another look at that Jonathan Dockery incident. That 3 wide into that turn 3 is a tough proposition, even for drivers of this caliber. And you know, as they come in, and Gurkan Demir, who made the contact with Jonathan, you know, maybe didn't have much of a choice. He had to stay. He had to give room. He was the man in the middle in that 3 wide at the apex of that corner.
Yeah, we got.
And Sammy and Scott
As the
don't
pit
know what to do.
Yeah, we've got so the 17 and 22 cars are the only ones who have remained out so far. Leo in the 35 car is your presumptive leader once the pit stops cycle through.
Jeff Snavely
the
is yet
gap.
to pit.
Yeah,
You know,
so those
Philippe
two, the gap is 27 seconds right now.
Philippe Jeté, this is surprising that he can make it this far on the fuel run, but you know, in that lead pack of 5, he was getting massive draft.
Yes.
The entire first half of the race, and so it could convert into 1, 2, or 3 seconds of shorter refueling time here. Presumably, he would have to pit now, but he'll require less fuel to finish the race.
Now,
Yeah,
I'm just taking a
we'll
look.
keep an eye on them, but yeah, this battle here for what is this 12th position is really awesome. We've got some great drivers here: Thomas Photos, Jason Weiss, Chris Stewart, and Connor Tallman. Some more formation flying here, if you will.
Yeah, your pit lane time is about 46 seconds, and I don't think he's got that on anybody. Philippe is only what, about 27 seconds ahead. So I
Yeah,
think
well, he's down pit road with Jeff Snavely right now, so the race is on.
Jet is at the pit exit as Decker does a 147.598.
Oh, look at this 2x2. Jason Weiss, Connor Tolman, and Chris Stewart barely kissing wheels there, and this is going to be maybe 4 wide going into turn 1 here if they're not careful.
It
All right,
does
well,
look like Philippe Jeté did come out behind this leading trio of Leo Ostroff in P1, Jeffrey Decker P2, Gurkan Demir in P3. And it'll be interesting to see if Philippe can catch back up. He's about 2 seconds behind that lead pack.
And it's going to be hard because look at the times they're setting. I mean, Leo did a 147.58, Jeffrey did a 147.60, and Gurkan did a 147.62. So Gurkan was 2/100ths of a second slower than 1,000ths of a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, my goodness me.
well, we've got 3 wide going in to turn 4 here. Oh, and Thomas Photos, they're going to make contact with him. He's going to be off in the gravel. Meanwhile, the beneficiary of that looks like Jason Bice, followed by Steve Dewar, Connor Tolman, and Chris Stewart will fall back in line. Well, no, take that back. Chris Stewart's going to look to the inside there of Connor Tolman, and he will take the 3rd spot of that pack back, which is 14th overall.
Boy, that was a replay of a 3 wide attempt in turn 3, and it just
Doesn't work.
it's just so hard. And
Yeah.
and you really have to sympathize with the person in the middle who really just cannot pick a good line to avoid contact with one or the other cars. But it's the car on the outside then that ends up being the loser.
Yeah, when you're the meat and the sandwich, you're just along for the ride. You don't really have a lot of choice. Jeffrey just staying welded to the back of Leo's gearbox with a 0.2 gap. The whole front pack are 0.2 behind each other. And let's see if they do anything coming in. Yes, and Demir is pulling wide.
It's looking to me now like these drivers are they're almost working together. You know, they're gapping.
Yeah, Decker overdrove it a little bit and has now been... he's lost. It looks like, how many places is he going to lose in this? Or is he going to be a little bit as they go down into Next corner, 3 wide. Leo out in front. Oh. Whoa, look at that. That's insane.
So now we have Leo Ostroff in front of Jeffrey Decker, and they did manage, because of that little bobble by Gherkin Demir, to pull out a bit of a gap there. Gherkin's still in that draft. But
Leo looks like he's starting to pull away a little bit.
Yep, Jeffrey looked like he was just taking a little bit of a peek on the inside of turn 1 and then slotted in behind. You know, I think probably what's going through his mind is that if he's patient, he works with Leo, they can gap Gherkin Demir, get Gherkin out of the draft, and then, you know, with just maybe 2 laps to go, they can just be a 2-car shootout.
And Connor Tolman just crashed with, what did he hit? He just had a bit of a bump.
Well, this battle for P6 currently held by Sammy Bridges, but there's just all sorts of pressure from Scott Bell. And, you know, it's, again, you know, just ahead of them is Mike Bowers. Mike is probably benefiting from the extreme pressure because Sammy looks like he's taking a slightly defensive line coming into some of these corners. And
why is Carl Dronke down in 13th?
Yeah, so I was doing that research. I saw Max Giacomo ask the question. He pit on lap 13 and pit again on lap 14. So clearly some sort of issue either with a penalty or...
Must have been a black flag. And
so that's unfortunate for him. 12. He was having a heck of a race. He really was. Very unfortunate.
He really was. Jason Bice is now up in P12. I think everybody's done their pit stop, so that's that.
Yeah, we got 12 minutes remaining, by the way. Holy cow, you blink and it's over. 12 minutes remaining. All the pit stops are done. So this is kind of the field that we have right here.
Scott Bell's making a move here on
inside, but he'll slot in behind.
He's holding it through the first corner. Now the question is, going up into that hairpin, is he going to try and take it? And I see that Sammy is taking a very inside line, try and close that off. Scott going to pull out and just try and make something out of this, or will
on the
Jeff
inside.
Bridges try and take them both? Oh, and Jeff has to brake really hard, locking up the back tires.
Yeah, it looked like Scott really, again, was trying to take that inside line, and you just don't get as good a launch out of the corner when you do that. You know, the battle back for P16, we haven't talked too much about Benjamin Harris, but, you know, Benjamin Harris, Chris Stewart, Charlie McCarty, Connor Tolman, Brian Perez, they are in their own battle, and they're just fighting so hard. And right now, Chris Stewart is going on the inside of Benjamin Harris. Looks like going to make the pass out of turn 4. And now as they enter the S's, they're going side by side. Usually the inside line is a little better here. Chris is defending hard. Going to get inside help here, but Benjamin Harris trying to get a good launch and can get inside position. If he can hold it, but it looks like he'll have to slot in behind. Oh, and now we're getting a 3 wide with Benjamin Harris, Connor Tolman, Charlie McCarty. The 3 wide is forcing Chris Stewart extremely wide out of turn 9.
Yeah, they're gonna make contact.
Oh, that's Benjamin Harris, who just got nudged a little bit in the back out of turn 10. Looks like his car is not too damaged, but of course he's lost all sorts of momentum. Yeah, Jeffrey Decker is trying the inside line again in turn 3, but Leo's going to get a little better exit. Oh, Jeffrey got a great run out of that corner, and that was
He
turn
really
4,
did.
not turn 3. Excuse me.
Leo's trying to hold that inside.
Yeah, I guess.
Take it back.
But gentlemen, you see who's sitting there in third spot?
Gurkan Demir, home race for him.
The owner of the house. So let's not count Gurkan Demir out just
He's
yet.
probably, cackling and laughing like an evil, Austrian here.
As Jeffrey Decker takes the inside line and gets back into first place.
8.5 minutes left in this race, so that should be, perhaps 5 laps to go. We're getting towards the end of this race.
As Leo pushes hard to try and be first across the line and own that point.
Get
God,
that one,
dang it.
yeah.
I'm going to own that point, I tell ya.
Well, it's a little bit easier. This is a little bit of a longer track. It's not as many laps in this race. Boy, Gurkan really looked like he wanted to go and get the outside position on Jeffrey Decker, but then thought better of it. He's going to go ahead and follow Jeffrey Decker on the outside line. That could be good for Gurkan because Leo's being forced on the inside.
Whoa, you're going to lock it up just a touch. Oh.
Boy, and Leo defended that outside exit really well and just did not want to compromise his exit too much.
Jason Weiss is honked onto the back of Carl Drunke's gearbox as Carl has set the fastest lap of the race, 137.34. Jason trying to find a way around him, but just not getting it done.
The battle for P9 rages on. Aaron Law being pressured by Mark Rayner for P9. Really, it's just amazing. All up and down this field, there are these just tight battles going on. Wow.
Here we go, back to the line. And again, Leo is like, oh, Jeffrey, no. You are not going to have that little point. I am going to take it back as he drafts past him to try and take the point and does it again.
And now it'll be very interesting to see how these cars arrange themselves. I think they seem to like, all of these drivers seem to like the outside line coming into turn 3, and so Gurkan
they're going
making a move to catch it.
wide.
And Leo looks like he's trying to force Jeffrey Decker on the inside.
Oh, Leo gets squeezed out. Oh! As Gurkan gets into first place.
What do we say? What did
Gurkan
we
has
say?
It's the house of Gurkan. Pickle house, man.
We should get.
I don't know.
Pim
That's
told us
Leo
what
taking the inside
Man.
there. That's Jeffrey. Sorry, my bad.
Really, these guys are testing the limits of the netcode ability here, but great
Gurkan
to our
takes the
benefit.
inside line. Now, just to everybody who's listening to this, there are not 3 cars in this race, right? There are a whole bunch of cars. Gurkan goes a little wide there on that corner. Try to keep Leo behind him. He has the inside line coming down now into this turn. Gurkan moves over.
If Gurkan and Leo aren't careful, they're going to lose Jeffrey Decker, and so they had better buckle down and make sure that they catch back up here. There's under 5 minutes left
to go.
So that would mean 3 laps.
Well, we've got a lot of battles. To your point, we've got a lot of great battles here. Philippe Chaté, Mike Bowers, Scott Bell, Jeff Snavely, Sammy Bridges. This is the battle for P4 overall. As Mike Bowers is going to look to the inside and try to make it stick. Looks like Philippe's going to cede the position there into turn 1 and try to get a good runoff. But Scott Bell is right there. Maybe do a little bump drafting. Who knows?
And the battle for 11th, 12th with Carl Dronke, Jason Bison, Steve Durr is raging on as Jason just can't find a way past Carl, which has given Steve Durr the opportunity to catch back up a little bit with him as they start to close in on Mark Rayner and JR Hoops.
But boy, there is 3 wide with Sammy Bridges, Philippe Jeté, and Scott Bell, and they are.
I mean,
they are just.
it is so tough. There's so much going on. Oh my gosh. Poor Pim. Pim's over there like, come on, guys, get it together. Oh man, it's not our fault. These guys are all putting on a great show, but yeah, I mean, you look at that timing tower. I mean, look how much yellow is still up there. All these intervals just near zero throughout the field.
It's insane. It's insane.
For the viewers who are used to this broadcast on Sunday nights and wondering why aren't we hearing Pim Luke? Pim, knowing the kind of action that we would have here, is actually behind the scenes calling out quietly to our commentators' ears some of the action.
So basically, what we're trying to tell you is Pim is now the voice in our heads.
I will hear it in my dreams tonight, and as we look at Carl Dronke working on JR Hoops here, JR Hoops doing a great job defending. Looks like he might be not across the line, but into turn 1 we'll see what happens. Jason Bice and Steve Dewar looking on with interest. Oh, he's gonna go way wide, but he's gonna keep that momentum.
I wonder if that's a slowdown.
And Mark Rayner and Aaron Law are having a big battle as well, back for P9 and 10.
Back up front, boy, this battle just rages on. And now there's under 2 minutes left in the race. So as they complete this lap and cross the start-finish line, they will receive the white flag signifying the last lap of the race. And so now it is almost do or die for Jeffrey Decker, Leo Oftarov, Gurkan Demir. That's the way they stand right now on the podium if we were to finish right now, but there's still 1 and about a quarter laps to go.
And where would you want to be?
Yeah.
Do you want to be Leo or do you want to be Decker? Do you want to be in front or do you want to be in second place in that final lap?
Boy, this is... I think if...
Because Leo is not in front this time. He does not.
Yeah, Leo is going to bide his time, I think, and try to take Jeffrey on this uphill straight.
We saw it 2 laps ago. Guess who was out front for just a little bit and took advantage?
Mr. Demir?
That's right. That's who I want to be.
Well, Jeffrey Decker got a great launch out of turn 1, and is
Leo's going for that inside
Leo
line.
is going to make a dive on the inside.
But he's far back this time now. There you go. Oh, Gurkan almost was able to take
get a much better
Leo. Yeah, now if Gurkan can hold this, but Leo's got the inside for the next couple of corners, so for this big hairpin, and allowed Jeffrey to really pull a little bit of space. And Leo's going to be, although he's got the shorter track, he's got the slower corner speed. Gurkan is not letting him go.
No,
they're not taking the inside. Gurkan's taking the inside and gone into second place yet again.
A touch.
Our race timer has run out. Just so you know, this is
for the marbles.
Going to be it.
This battling between Gurkan and Leo has allowed Jeffrey to open up a 0.6 second lead.
Yeah, I think Jeffrey, barring any ridiculousness, has got this one in the bag. But now the question is, who is going to get second? Gurkan is desperately holding on.
Trying to break that draft. We have nothing.
Jurgen Demir in second place. Look at that.
Wow.
As they go skidding. Woo! Decker first.
Scott
Demir
Bell.
second.
Scott
Bell
Bell barely
Aaron
hangs on
fourth.
by.
Aaron Law finishing up 10 places in P7, just behind Jeff Snavely and Mike Bowers in P5 and 6. Then Mark Rayner in P8. Carl Dronke crosses the line in P9, followed by Jason Bice, his teammate. Then in P11, Verhoek, Steve Doer, Thomas Photos, Sammy Bridges, Philippe Jatte, and
Holy cow. Yeah, Sammy Bridges limping it across the line there. He managed to pull out a 14th, but by the hair on his chinny chin chin.
Charlie McCarty does cross the line, finishing in 18th place.
Look at that. Jason Bice up 14 is our big charger of the day.
Wow.
That was a race. I'm tired now.
Yeah.
Well, we might feel tired, but I'll bet our race winner, Jeffrey Decker, is even more tired. Jeffrey, congratulations. What a drive, what a race.
Cheers, guys. Yeah, I'm exhausted. I honestly came into the race pretty tired, so I'm going to need a good, hard night's sleep tonight.
Looked like you might have had
Well,
maybe 5 seconds here or there to relax up there on track.
Yeah, a little bit of time, maybe when we were just kind of hanging out behind Leo. But yeah, I mean, once the knives come out, the knives really come out here. So when the battling starts, it's good fun, but it's high intensity for sure.
Well, it was a lot of fun to watch, let me tell you. Seriously. Amazing fun to watch. Again.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Yeah, I think there were probably some dull bits in the middle. I know, there were some times. Well, there were a couple.
No dull bits.
There were a couple moments we had to give up the fight and try to build a gap, but I think, in that first stint when we started fighting, that was good fun, and then, yeah, obviously when it kicked off on the last stint as well. I mean, equally good fun. I see Gherkin's in here now. I want to say congratulations to him because I think he's been quick here both times we've been here, and the races just haven't quite worked out, and to see him put it together and get on the podium, big congrats, buddy.
Well, in fact, I think we need Tim Luth to do the honors of interviewing Gherkin on his finish. Tim.
Gherkin, this is your home. Finally, you did it.
Thank you. Yes, like a third time was a charm. That's it. Like the first one, I was unlucky on last corner. I got a blue screen last time. I was again gonna get most likely a podium. I messed it up at the pit exit. But this race was a good, and especially I want to just say, like this race was so special for me. This morning I lost one of my pets, and we had to put her down. We had to sleep her, and I wasn't even sure if I'm gonna able to make it today. I was not feeling good at all. But in the end, I said tonight I'm gonna race for her, and I'm glad I made it. Everything worked out.
Gherkin, I think it's great to hear that you came here. It's a sad story, but in the end, a great result. I have to say, probably someone up front in the air is looking down, thinking this tonight you made something happen. It was magic. The fight that you had with Leo, with Decker. First you were looking, and then you were starting to get battle in there. What went through your mind when you actually passed Leo a couple of times?
Yeah, it was really tough. Like those two guys are amazing with fast guys. Like they are top of this league, so they are really fast, and it was an honor for me to hang out with them. Yeah, after the pit stop, I was not sure if my fuel is gonna make it, so I was always on the border. But then that's why I say like I was just gonna try to stick it, and I made a small mistake, and one of the turns I locked it, and I almost lost the draft. But then somehow I managed to keep with them again. I catch them. And in the end, when I was battling with Leo, it was just, I trust him. I know he's going to hold his line, and everything went really smooth. And I was a little bit lucky. I was able to hold the inside line. And in the end, I passed the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you did amazing. I gotta say, it was really fun to have you up there and turn our duo into a trio today. And my condolences as well, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
So,
that was a masterclass there, guys. A masterclass.
Jeffrey and Gherkin, and first off, Gherkin, really so sorry for your loss. It's especially in the pandemic and everything. I think it's really tough, and so it's great that you could get this great result. But Jeffrey and Gherkin, we in the broadcast booth were wondering on that last lap, where would we want to be? Would we want to be in the lead? Would we want to be second? Would we want to be third? What was going through your minds? Did you like your position on that last lap, or did you wish you were somewhere different than that?
Out of turn 1, I did. But if you were to ask me, I was thinking like 3 or 4 laps in, I hope I'm in P2. Because you can kind of manage your gap going into turn 1 and then try to use the draft up the hill without having to deal with the guy behind. But again, if they get a better run, I mean, you see they go side by side. But the gap that I had coming out of turn 1 on the last lap, I felt pretty good about at least being roughly on my own at the top of the hill, which I think is really, really crucial. But I didn't necessarily want to be there. I thought for sure one of the guys was going to get me. But yeah, I think I got lucky that they got into it with each other.
Yeah, same for me too. I was where I wanted to. Like I want to start the lap at the behind of everyone, and I was hoping that Leo and Jeffrey is gonna fight, and I was able to maybe just in one of the turn I'm gonna get a better exit, and we're gonna go 3 wide. I could get the inside line, and I can just pass both of them, but it didn't work exactly what I was expecting. But I'm still happy. This is, I think, my best finish so far in the season, in the SNS history as well.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
you know what
guys-
they say? To finish in the top 10 is something. To finish in the top 5 is good, but to pull a second place position, that is amazing good.
Yeah, I want to thank all of you for driving. Jeffrey Decker, I think Leo Oktarov, he really played the game along, and it was great to see those battles. Gherkin, I just want to say one thing to you. RedBull Ring is your home. Never forget it. I don't think anybody else will forget it, and you did an amazing job. Great to see you there.
Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Well, I mean, what else can you say, right? I mean, what an amazing race these guys put on for us tonight.
I love it. I'm glad that we can finally officially call it the home of Gherkin.
Can we rename it? Can we find a new name for it now?
I think we should. I'll call up the Red Bull guys tomorrow and see. We'll work it out.
So you could change the name to, I don't know, to Demir's Ring or something like
Yeah.
that.
I'm sure the naming rights are up for sale, and so it shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah. So next week is going to be something completely different.
Yeah.
We go from wide open sweeping corners to completely insane little teeny tiny short corners that are off camber, over hills and blind.
Yeah. Pretty much no draft. I think overtaking is going to be difficult. It's going to be It's definitely basically as opposite of this week as you could get.
And we're running the international, so we're running it clockwise. So coming out of the pits down the hill into McIntyre, Butcher's chicane, and then Clark, and then coming up the railway straight to that hard braking hairpin bend Taylor's back onto the straight. And it's a very, very short track. It's going to be interesting, boys and girls.
I think it's going to be a fantastic place to race.
Are you racing?
If it's
I hate this track.
if I will say, if it's half the show that the RedBull Ring puts on, then it will be a success. It's one that I still have yet to download. I'm really looking forward to seeing the race there, but I'm going to have zero experience and zero expertise to be able to talk to it. So either way, I think week in, week out, Skippy Formula 2. By the way, Skippy Formula 2, really strong showing. Loving the direction that series is going. And then, of course, Skippy Formula 1 just setting the bar week in, week out, like we said before. So This should be a lot of fun next week. It'll be at the same time, same channel. Come tune in, hang out. We'll have some fun. I guess any final thoughts there from Peter, Ian?
Well, I think the chatter on the League Discord this week had some mixed feelings about this track. But at the end of the day, it really delivered some amazing racing. So, I think I, for one, have to eat my words a little bit. I think it really did well.
I think for the open lobbies, the public races or the officials, like it gets really, really messy, right? But as soon as you pop into this league, I mean, half the reason we're here is because we all like to race cleanly with one another. And so I think when you put that together with it, it's good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting track. It's very, very short. So, I raced this a little bit in the GT3 cars, and it was a hoot and a half. But you spend a lot of time in the air going around some of these corners to actually make them. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the little old Skippy does. I'm thinking a lot of bent wings and quite a few off tracks on this one.
So Ray Barnikowski's on YouTube pointing out that we never actually said the name of the track.
Knock Hill. Sorry, Knock Hill.
There we go.
So Knock Hill is in Fife, in Scotland. And
Scotland.
Yeah, well, no, not like that, but yes.
Scottish. I can't do it. Give up.
Please don't. Just
I'll be there in my cardigan sweater.
I think what we all need to do, though, I think everybody that's racing should have a shot of scotch or a shot of whiskey, proper whiskey, before they start.
Okay, all right.
Oh, dear. I think we gotta save that for shenanigans, huh?
Yeah.
That's
Oh my
probably
god.
all right.
We could do something like 1x shots. Any off track as a shot.
Oh, good lord. People are not going to be able to walk the next day. So, yeah, it's going to be
That's
fun.
funny.
Knock Hill Racing Circuit 5. It's only 1.2
All right, gentlemen.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm looking forward to that. Like you said, it's going to be a complete departure from what we saw this week. And so something to look forward to next Sunday night. Come tune in 8 p.m. Eastern for Skippy Formula 2. Stay for Skippy Formula 1. Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. And I hope everybody has a fantastic week moving forward. We will see you here 7 days from now. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. And we'll see you then.
Take care.
Thank you, guys.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye.